This is how your financial freedom is destroyed without you realizing it. The loss of financial freedom doesn't happen suddenly. It happens quietly, day after day, decision after decision. It doesn't arrive with a crash. It arrives as a routine. For years, we've been taught that economic stability means having a job, a steady income, and a comfortable lifestyle. But that same structure that gives us security can become an invisible cage. A golden cage, polished, bright, but locked. The modern financial system rewards productivity, not independence. It teaches you to work harder to earn more, but never to make money work for you. And so, millions of people become gears in the machinery of consumption, trading their time, their most valuable and non-renewable asset, for a temporary illusion of control, and that's where your financial freedom begins to erode. Without you even noticing. The conditioning of consumption from childhood, we are educated to consume, not to manage. Brands, media, and social networks shape our relationship with money. The message is clear. Your worth is defined by what you can buy. Advertising doesn't sell products, it sells identity. You don't buy a phone. You buy the feeling of belonging. You don't buy a car. You buy the image of success. Every time you associate your personal value with the value of your possessions, you give up a piece of your freedom. And you do it willingly. The system doesn't need to force you. It only needs to persuade you, to convince you that you deserve a lifestyle you can't yet afford, and that going into debt to get it is normal. Debt as a mechanism of control credit is presented as a symbol of progress. But in reality, when misused, it's a silent contract of future servitude. Every debt acquired, every payment pending, restricts your decision-making power. You can't leave a job you hate. You can't invest in long-term opportunities. You can't say no, because you're bound to the system. Consumer debt is one of the most efficient tools of social control. It keeps people producing endlessly, unable to pause or reflect. It's a sophisticated form of slavery, voluntary, legal, and psychologically accepted. The illusion of progress, changing cars, moving into a bigger house, or upgrading technology every year creates the illusion of progress. But in many cases, that progress is a mirage. When material advancement is financed by debt, there is no growth, only expanded spending. And if your income rises, but your expenses rise at the same pace, you're not advancing. You're standing still. Only now, with more obligations and more pressure. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most common ways people lose financial freedom. Every raise becomes an excuse to spend more, not to invest better. Time. The forgotten asset. Time is your most valuable resource, yet it's the one most often wasted. Every hour traded for immediate money is an hour not invested in building autonomous income. The busier you are, the less free you become. The system rewards constant productivity, not strategic thinking. But money can multiply, time cannot. And once your time runs out, your freedom goes with it. The hidden cost of convenience. In the age of automation, many have surrendered control of their finances. Automatic payments, invisible subscriptions, mindless spending. Convenience comes with a high price. The real danger of convenience is not the money lost, it's the loss of awareness. When you stop observing your finances, you stop understanding them. And what you don't understand controls you. Financial disorder rarely begins with major mistakes. It starts with small, repeated distractions over many years. The structural lack of financial education. In most education systems, no one teaches how money truly works. We learn how to produce, not how to manage. How to earn, not how to preserve or multiply. This gap turns the average citizen into a predictable consumer. While banks use compound interest to multiply their wealth, people experience it through debt. Financial literacy isn't optional. It's a modern survival skill. Linear income, the trap of routine. Most people depend on linear income, money that flows only if they work. That model has a natural limit, time. When all your earnings depend on your direct effort, exponential growth becomes impossible. Work turns into survival, not development. And while it may seem stable, linear income is one of the greatest obstacles to freedom, because it prevents you from creating assets that work even when you don't. The psychological cost of economic dependence. Living under financial stress has a profound cognitive price. It diminishes creativity, reduces analytical thinking, and erodes rational decision-making. When the mind is trapped in scarcity, it stops planning. It focuses only on surviving. And a mind focused solely on survival cannot build freedom. Financial dependence doesn't just drain your wallet, it drains your perspective. A system designed for dependence. None of this is accidental. The global financial system is structured so that money constantly flows in one direction, from the consumer to the institutions. Every financial product, every credit card, every reward serves one purpose: to keep you in the cycle of spending. Banks profit when you pay interest, not when you save. Companies profit when you replace, not when you preserve. Governments profit when you consume, not when you accumulate. The entire economy thrives on your dependence.
And until you become aware of that, your freedom will continue to dissolve unnoticed. The mind is a turning point. Rebuilding financial freedom doesn't start in your bank account, it starts in your mind.
Changing your mindset means changing the architecture of your financial behavior. A scarcity mindset seeks to survive. An abundance mindset seeks to build. The first reacts to the system. The second understands, analyzes, and uses it strategically. It's not about hoarding money, it's about building autonomy. Money isn't the goal. It's the tool that allows you to regain control of your time, your choices, and your future. The architecture of freedom, financial freedom, is a personal construction. It rests on solid pillars: education, saving, investment, diversification, and emotional control. There are no shortcuts, no secret formulas. Only discipline, consistency, and understanding how money moves. Every step matters. First, you control your spending. Then you create an emergency fund. After that, you invest wisely. And finally, you build a system that generates income, even when you're not working. At that point, money stops being your master and becomes your servant. The true indicators of freedom being: financially free doesn't mean having more money than others. It means being able to make choices without fear. Your real indicators of freedom are not luxury, they are autonomy. How much of your income is passive? How many months you can live without working? How much you save? How little you owe? And most importantly, how much peace of mind you have each day? Because true freedom isn't measured in numbers. It's measured in serenity. The ethical dimension of financial freedom, economic independence, also carries an ethical dimension. It's not about escaping the system. It's about participating in it consciously, using your resources to create value, opportunity, and stability, not just accumulation. True freedom isn't having more, it's needing less. And the one who needs less is the hardest to control. Conclusion. A return to awareness. Your financial freedom doesn't vanish overnight. It fades every time you choose comfort over consciousness, every time you spend without reflection, every time you postpone learning. But it can also be rebuilt, one decision at a time. Every controlled expense, every strategic investment, every act of awareness is an act of rebellion against the system of dependence. Financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a responsibility. And true independence doesn't begin when you have money. It begins when you finally understand how money works.